It's the year 1990, WrestleMania VI at the Toronto Skydome, the Ultimate Challenge. WWE Champion Hulk Hogan versus the Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior. It was perceived to become the biggest match in history. Now, just how can you one-up WrestleMania 3? How can you outdo a storyline that captivated audiences at WrestleMania 5 when the Mega Powers clashed, the biggest pay-per-view to date? Unfortunately, it didn't result in what WWE had hoped for. While the Warrior would triumph as the new WWE Champion that night at WrestleMania 6, the fans missed Hulk Hogan as he exited off the grandest stage of them all. The WrestleMania pay-per-view buy rate was disappointing, as it dropped from the previous year, and couldn't even surpass SummerSlam 1998's pay-per-view buy. The Ultimate Warrior wouldn't be the draw that the company had hoped for, resulting in the return to Hulk Hogan as WWE Champion by WrestleMania 7. So what happened? For kids, it was a magical night, a comic book coming to life. But truth be told, most fans, mostly older fans of pro wrestling, weren't really interested in two heroes clashing. So what if they went a different route? A route fans were used to, one where the good guy triumphs over the bad guy. For WrestleMania 6, what if there were two main events? In this alternate universe, we head back to November 25th, 1989. The Genius defeats the WWE Champion Hulk Hogan via countout on Saturday night's main event, thanks to Mr. Perfect's interference. That same night, Mr. Perfect destroys the WWE Championship belt on TV. Perfect at the time was considered undefeated, while Hulk Hogan was the face of the company since 1984. These two clashing was inevitable, and although it didn't really work out so great on the house shows. Well, let's make it work. Fast forward to December 27th, 1989. No Holds Barred, the match the movie, is shown on pay-per-view. Instead of it being a tag team cage match that we got, well, let's put in Hulk Hogan taking on the Macho King Randy Savage. Brutus Beefcake accompanies Hulk Hogan. Zeus and Queen Sherry accompany the Macho King. Late in the match, the Macho King lands his elbow drop finisher, only for Hogan to kick out at 2. Hulk's up. He lands the big three punch and goes for the Irish whip, but Savage bumps into the referee. Zeus runs in to attack Hogan. Beefcake runs in to help, but before he could, Sherry slams him with her heavy purse over his back. Maybe she has a brick in there, who knows, and continues to assault him as he is knocked out cold on the outside. Hulk struggles to fight off Zeus and Savage. He's cut open and bleeding, but that won't stop the Genius and Mr. Perfect with his steel chair. Well, they both run out to the ring. And as Hogan throws Zeus out of the ring and knocks down Savage, Perfect slams Hulk with this chair over his head, knocking him down. The four now gang up on Hogan, beating him down to a pulp. Genius takes the ring bell and hands it over to Savage to smash it over Hulk's neck from the top rope. Perfect awakens the ref, and they all get out of the ring for Savage to get in the 1, 2, 3. It's over. The Macho King becomes the new WWE Champion. Hulk is taken out on a stretcher till he wakens backstage and goes on a rampage looking for Mr. Perfect. It's now January 3rd, 1990, Saturday night's main event. Hulk Hogan gets his win back from the Genius despite Mr. Perfect trying to interfere, but thankfully he was barred from ringside halfway throughout the match. Fast forward to the Royal Rumble on January 21st, 1990. Hulk Hogan has been looking to get his hands on Mr. Perfect ever since his title loss. Finally, they clash in the Battle Royal as the two men are the last standing. Hulk manages to throw Mr. Perfect over the second rope. Mistakenly, however, he believes he won. Hulk's tired, exhausted, but Mr. Perfect gets back in the ring, does a running knee kick, knocking Hulk out of the ring from over the top, and winning the match to much heat. Hulk is in disbelief as Mr. Perfect celebrates his win, but this time without the Genius. We now head towards the Main Event 3, live on NBC on February 23rd, 1990. Bobby the Brain Heenan is announced as Mr. Perfect's new manager. Hulk Hogan and the Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, will be taking on Mr. Perfect and the WWE Champion, the Macho King, with special enforcer, at that time, who was the boxing heavyweight champion, Buster Douglas. Hogan and Warrior triumph after a DQ thanks to Queen Sherry interfering in the match. Later that night, we learned that a double main event is officially announced for WrestleMania 6. The first of that main event is Hulk Hogan taking on Mr. Perfect. Hulk, the very face of the WWE since 1984, versus the undefeated Mr. Perfect. The same Mr. Perfect who humiliated Hulk Hogan when the Genius won at SNME. The same Mr. Perfect who destroyed the WWE Championship belt and who cost Hulk the WWE Championship title. It's the same Mr. Perfect who won the Royal Rumble. Now we head towards WrestleMania VI. It's April 1st, 1990. And Hulk Hogan does indeed triumph over Mr. Perfect in a grueling 20-minute match, with Hulk breaking out of this perfect plex, the first to do that, breaking Perfect's undefeated record with the 3-punch big boot and leg drop finish. Hulk triumphs at WrestleMania VI. But what about the second half of the double main event at WrestleMania VI? Well, I'm sure you guessed what it is by now. At the No Holds Barred pay-per-view on December of 1989, the Macho King won the WWE Championship for a second time. Macho King enters the Royal Rumble at number 5. He throws out Dusty Rhodes, Red Rooster, Jimmy Snuka, and Jim Neidhart. The ring is cleared with the Macho King standing alone till suddenly the Intercontinental Champion himself, the Ultimate Warrior, rushes out to a big pop and quickly knocks the Macho King out of the ring. Savage is furious. Later, as it looked like the Warrior was doing a great job at the Rumble, Savage rushes out, bumps into the WWE officials as he makes his way towards the apron and manages to grab Warrior's hair from the outside as he assists both the Barbarian and Rick Rude to toss Warrior out of the ring. Warrior is now furious that he lost the Royal Rumble and chases the Macho King to the back. With the victory of Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior over the Macho King and Mr. Perfect at the main event 3 in a DQ, after the match was over, Warrior manages to bring Queen Sherry into the middle of the ring. Savage is on the mat and Warrior gorilla presses Sherry on top of Savage. Savage runs away. It's then announced that the second half of that main event, announced by President Jack Tunney himself, that for the first time ever on pay-per-view, champion versus champion, title for title, we get the WWE Champion, the Macho King, taking on the Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior. Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man is ready for you, Warrior. Yeah, I'm the cream of the crop, and you're just a drop in the ocean, just a memory, and nothing more. Yeah. Okay, we got carried away there. Sorry about that. But we now head to WrestleMania 6, and similar to the original confrontation at WrestleMania 7, Savage drops his elbow drop finisher, and Warrior kicks out at 2. Warrior hits the gorilla press and splash finisher, and it looked like it was all over, but Savage manages to kick out. Warrior is in shock, and you know it. He runs around the ring with his special clotheslines and flying shoulder blocks, lands his big splash, and finally wins the match. 1, 2, 3. And we get a new WWE Champion, the Ultimate Warrior. Now, of course, there's a little bit of a twist towards all this. Hulk Hogan's match actually goes last. Because, well, let's face it, Vince McMahon probably would have wanted that. And it makes business sense for Hulk to go last. On the other hand, as we've seen in this alternate universe, even though this whole alternate universe is about telling you guys, all of you, that the Ultimate Challenge never happened, well, technically it could happen. Because what if Warrior's title run does work better? Because he didn't defeat the invincible Hulk Hogan, an invincible world champion. He didn't defeat a babyface at WrestleMania. And with enough time and experience as a champion, perhaps a confrontation between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior would make a whole lot sense and would be a lot better. Thank you for watching In the Plot. We'll be posting every single week, so be sure to like this video, subscribe for new content, and comment below. Thanks again.